Alright, welcome back for another token review. Tonight we're going to review a token called Nucleus Vision. And I won't lie to you, I have never heard of this token until tonight, probably about an hour ago. I was scrolling through CoinMarketCap, went to Binance, kind of looking different coins, and I was like, Nucleus Vision, what is this? It was number 2 when it came to trading volume on Binance. I was like, okay, like where did this come from? What's going on? And I realized here also on CoinMarketCap, it came out today also, because sometimes they don't, CoinMarketCap doesn't get the information immediately. So I started digging, and the more I dug, the more I liked. So this is why I'm going to do a review on it, because this is definitely a very interesting token. Let's go ahead and just cover first and foremost. The current price is almost at 4 cents. It's fluctuating a little bit. It only trades on Binance at the very moment. The volume is like extremely high. Like I said, for Binance, it's actually number 2. In fact, let's just go ahead and open this up while this is loading. Circulating supply, they don't have on here, and the total supply is 10 billion. So it's number 2 right now. It's a little bit less than half of Bitcoin on Binance, but I mean it's way up there, way up there. And as always, what I like to do is I like to cover the social side of things and the web metrics, just because I want to show people how much attention is this particular coin or token getting. So this particular their Twitter page, 37,000 followers. They started in September 2017, so it's still fairly new. That's a good amount. I like to see that. If we look at a social blade over here, you can see that every single day they are growing exponentially. Now today they skyrocketed, and I'm assuming that's probably because they got listed on Binance today, so that kind of makes sense why you'd have a lot of visibility, a lot of movement. If we go on over to their Reddit page, 58,000 people on their Reddit page. That's pretty crazy. Make it one more. I just subscribed. It is kind of weird that they only have 125 people currently online. I mean, that's like 58,000, 125. I would have thought, especially today, given the fact that it got listed on the Binance today, that it would kind of be a hot topic, especially in here. But, that is what it is. The fact that they have this many is pretty darn crazy. Their Telegram... Telegram. I almost said something else. Their Telegram is insane. 93,000. I've never even seen anything remotely close to that. So that is awesome. Their GitHub, this is the only one I could find. They haven't really done that much on here. So I guess if I had to pick a negative, that might be my negative. But that would be it. So let's go ahead and hop right on into what it is. And by the way, guys, real quick, just kind of ahead of time, if this particular video and review, if you like it and it's helpful to you, I would really appreciate it. It'd mean a lot to me if you could like my video, if you could subscribe, because I don't get anything off these videos from YouTube, and so I got to grow more to even get to that stage. So hopefully this video is informative and can help you make a decision on this particular coin. If it's for you, great. If not, that's understood. And I am not a financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor, definitely. This is just, my review of what I've learned education-wise. And to be completely open and transparent, I did just buy the coin right before I made this video tonight, because I just found out about the token, and I was like, oh, this is something interesting. I think I'll invest in it. Guys, I don't have enough money to matter to even remotely move the market. So my investment is like less than $100 literally. So that, just to be open and transparent. All right, so go ahead. Nucleus Vision. That's what it's called. It's trading on Binance under Ncash is what it's the symbol. Ncash here. Let's go ahead and close this. All right, so it's backed by Tim Draper. Now, Tim Draper is a billionaire, if you don't know that much about him, and I'm not going to go into details about him, but he also helped back Factom. And I did a review on Factom. They're out of Austin, Texas, and I'm a big fan of Factom also. So Tim Draper seems to be kind of big into crypto, and this is also another one that he's backed. They also have connections with Reliance, Indusage, and I think that's how you pronounce that, and then QuadGen. There's actually more. So it gets crazy. The more I looked at it, the more I was like, whoa, this is pretty insane. So they claimed it's trusted by 100 brands. You got Gap, you got Lee, you got, I mean, it's going so fast. Nautica, I can stop it. You got Nautica, Tommy Hilfiger, Polo. I mean, the list goes on. And these are big names. These aren't obviously small, as you know. So here's their vision. It was founded at Harvard University back in 2014. I believe that was the date. I'll go look at the roadmap here in a second, but I think it was 2014 from Harvard University. The Nucleus vision is an Internet of Things-based contactless identification system that empowers retailers to identify and better serve their customers. So I could pretty much almost sum up right now, kind of, to an extent, and you wouldn't even have to watch the rest of this video. But I ask you, please do watch the rest of the video anyways, just to go into more details. But if I could try to sum up right now, I would basically say it's a blockchain crypto-based, they call it their ION, instead of like an NFC or RFID system, for almost like a reward system for retailers and, all sorts of different, retailers. And they did, like, I think they talked about airports, they talked about healthcare systems, and I'll show you in here. But that's the, in a nutshell, concept, if you want to just immediately understand. And that's one of the reasons why I liked this particular concept. ARC, for example. I love ARC. I actually tried to do a video on ARC, and even when I put it out there, I was like, man, I just don't feel like I did a good job explaining it, because I don't even understand how to truly explain it. But I like coins and tokens that have a very simple and straightforward, easy to understand explanation. And the reason behind that is because if I'm trying to explain ARC to a friend, I have trouble. But I like it, and I'd be like, yeah, you should invest in it too. Like, I think you should, check it out. Like, maybe if it works for you, great. But it's hard to explain. But if you can, like, walk to somebody and be like, hey, boom, 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 this is exactly what it does. This is exactly how it is. And they go, oh, okay, that makes sense. I understand the value of that. To me, that's a very, very good. It's a good sign. It's an easy sell. It's also easy to get more people to invest in it. And so that's why this particular token, I think, actually fits that. So let's go ahead and look at it. You got phase one, Nucleus Vision Retail, in-store customer identification and personalization. So what they've claimed is they have 2,436 successful authorizations. They have recommendations, offers sent, so it's like they're getting feedback. They have currently 10 live data live data feeding back from retail stores. So that's kind of the beauty of this particular token. Their ICO, I believe, ended, I want to say, in December. Now, I did see one side of things where they talked about like a pre-sale being like done ahead of time, something like that. And I know people get iffy on that. So I don't know how that all worked out, because I just found the token tonight. So obviously I'm not totally privy on all the information behind the scenes. But I think it ended in December. It just came out on the exchange tonight, and they have, a game plan of hitting different things. So they were alive. It's being used right now. A lot of these coins and ICOs, they're by definition vaporware, so to speak, because they have everything on paper, but they're not actually there yet. And so you pay the money up front, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to help you get to that next stage. These guys have already hit, in my opinion, stage one. They have a foundation. They have a working product that they've been working on since 2014, and they made it go live, and now they're getting, the funding behind it. I mean, they've obviously probably had funding before, but you see my point. They have a working product right now, and I personally like the fact that it is working, and I like to put, money towards things that are working right now rather than wait down the road, even though I do both. I put money in both. But so they have 80,000 unique identifications. I guess that would be people walking through the stores, and that would be, I'm assuming, 80,000 different people who have used this particular service, and then 1,833 offers availed. So phase two, which would be next year, and I'm going to go, they have a one page, a light paper, which they call, I guess it's like a light version of the white paper, and then they have the white paper. And again, I love that, because that one page I could print off and hand to somebody, be like, here, this is what it does. I'm like, oh, okay. And the light paper, if you want to go a little bit deeper, you could go deeper. And if you wanted to go like all the aspects of the whole entire thing, I think it's like 61 pages, you can download the white paper. But even the white paper isn't that complicated. Like, in comparison to some tokens out there, it's really not that bad. So that makes me very, very excited. Maybe that's stupid, but that's me personally. Nucleus Vision Security. So they're talking about retail first, and then the security industry second. So you have residential, asset commercial security. And then in 2021, they talked about, vision-powered world, connecting living with Nucleus vision, smart homes, cities, health, transportation, agriculture. So they got like big dreams. I mean, they're talking like to a whole new level. So health, agriculture, cities, transportation, smart homes. I mean, it's taking over the world. It's actually kind of freaky when you start to like look more into it. I kind of was like, this is really cool and kind of scary at the same time. So I'll let you decide how scary it really is. But individual identity plus engagement equals Nucleus vision. And again, this just comes down to it's that reward program concept. It already makes sense. It's already working now. They're just taking it to a whole new level with the blockchain and crypto and how they're actually tracking when people walk through that door or get near that door. So basically, how does it work? The retailer installs an ion sensor. So my understanding is it's kind of like a plug and play. I'm assuming it goes into like a power outlet or something like that, and then almost like a wireless, a wireless router device concept where I believe it's within a proximity, and then the second that the customer hits that proximity, then from there it's going to feed data back to the business. So it says the ion sensor identifies the customer, which would, I guess, go through like your phone. Orbit sends the data over the secure orbit layer. Neuron creates the real-time personas. Customer gets recommendations. So I'm not going to go ahead and play the video. It's like 1:30, and which isn't that long anyways. But essentially, it shows a kid. He's like chatting with his girlfriend, something like that, and they're supposed to go on the date for the night. So he goes to a suit store, and he pulls out his phone, and the phone beeps, and it's like 150 Ncash tokens or something like that. And then as he's sitting there on his phone, the sales guy like pulls up a tablet and looks, and he's like, oh, this guy's name is, I don't know, James, I think it was, something like that. He's like, hey, how are you? I looked at your profile. How can I help you? And so he tailors his sales pitch to that customer because he already has a kind of a background for like what that customer likes, so to speak, what his preferences are. Which that's kind of the scary part to me. It's like they're kind of it's tracking everything, even though they claim everything's kind of anonymous, which I guess it still can be. It's just kind of a creepy thing to know, like it's gonna have all your data. But be that as it may, and then at the end of it, he pays in Ncash to prove like, hey, he doesn't have to pull out his credit card or actual fiat. He could pay, and then it shows him going to meet his girlfriend at a restaurant, and he gets another like alert from his phone. And he's received more Ncash for walking to the restaurant. So it's showing you, like, no matter where you go, whichever retailer is tied into their particular system, you can get rewards for using their services. I mean, again, if you think about it, it's like this is almost like Referium and experience points. And I know Referium is specifically for gaming type stuff, but the same kind of concept, reward. And then experience points is for life in general. But this is like at a whole new level with actual like physical devices and like past that. So it's a pretty cool concept. So the path-breaking proprietary technology, they claim that the Nucleus Vision Internet of Things sensors don't depend on RFID, Wi-Fi, blue chip, or even facial recognition technologies to operate. And so I know that's kind of an interesting thing. Like the RFID thing is a big deal right now. The NFC thing is also a big deal with, I think it was Factum and, it was just the video I just did. The last video I put out, which was on VeChain. VeChain, I believe, does the NFC type stuff through their products. So this one takes a different route, and it doesn't have an app required. So my understanding is it just works it says right there, it works through your phone. No barriers to adoption. No Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS required, works through your phones, provides anonymous intelligence. So that's pretty cool. I mean, if they're already doing this, that's pretty legit. That's pretty awesome. So so I was wrong. Not 2014, it was 2013 when it was founded at Harvard University, and I guess Boston too. Funded by Tim Draper. Again, like I said, he's also funded Factum, and Factum is into the NFC chip, so it's kind of the same similar concept, sort of, but actually very different at the same time. Proof of concept was 2015, 2016 the product was fully developed, and then 2017 it launched in 10 stores. So I mean, that to me is just awesome. The fact that they're already live before like a hidden exchange. It's just like it's real world case, like, you know, use cases right there to see like this is working. It's not some pie in the sky, like it's working. So I like that. Token sale and retail growth 2018, so that's what they've done. Now, and it's interesting if you get from here to here, granted, I guess Tim Draper funded in 2014, but if you look at when their roadmap really starts, like when the product starts to kind of take off, kind of, I guess here, but it's like a 5-year plan. And I kind of laughed at that because I was like, oh, that's like real world business. They always put together 5-year plans. So I just thought that was kind of funny. But so from here to here is basically where we're at. We got 5 more years for it to hit to its full extent. The leadership team, this is one of the things that just made me like ecstatic. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. So the CEO founder from Harvard Business School, this guy here from Levi, ex-director of sales at Levi's, CTO from Illinois Institute of Technology. I don't know who this guy is, but he looks freaking amazing. So I apologize if he's super famous and I'm an idiot. I just stumbled upon this coin today. So, and I don't know that guy either. From Ted Speaker from Parsons. Lead blockchain developer from USC, and then they claim they also have 40 other members of their team, including 9 blockchain developers, 5 data scientists, 1 Internet of Things platform architect, 5 marketing experts, 9 engineers, and 11 operations professionals. Guys, that's a lot, and that's stacked. Like I see some teams with a couple people, and I always talk about my cutoff. I don't like to see, you know, it's 6 or more usually. I said 5 before, but I mean, you know, this type of team right here can make contacts with so many people. And that's why I think, you know, you got the Levi guy right here. I mean, talk about putting in a store, walking through that store and you know, trying to figure out what works for, you know, the customer and what they want, what they're buying. This guy right here alone, minus out every other connection they possibly have, is a great connection in my opinion for that. Investors, you got Tim Draper, co-founder of Intel Capital, managing partner of Indus, I think it's Indus Age Group, Global Capital, India's Entrepreneur of the Year 2016 and Market of the Year 2015, former president, Reliance Communications, founder and CEO of Quadgen, and I believe that's like Wi-Fi, I think internet type stuff, I believe. Founder and Chief Investment Officer of India, I think it's India Capital, investment banker with 20 plus years experience, managing director at Binary Financial, and then Reliance Capital, 62.12 billion fund and 20 million customers. Plus, they have more advisors. Co-founder of Icon. I know Icon's a big deal right now. Some advisors there. Reliance Capital. I mean, they just, you know, it goes on and on and on and on. Ian Bellina. I know he's kind of a lightning rod. Some people like him, some people don't, but. I mean, it just Microsoft, Boeing, Harvard Business Law School, if you wanted connections, this is what you want. And like I said, I don't even know how the heck I didn't hear about it till tonight, but there's 1,500 coins. There's new ones coming out every single day. I can't personally keep up. I have a full-time job, and I was like, I'm just going to scroll. Whoa, and I saw these things. I was like, holy cow, this is crazy. I had to make a video on this. They already partners working with. Like they claim right now they're already working with these partners. So Vodafone, Reliance Communications, Idea, Intel, Radius, Alpha, WaveNet Solutions, and then featured in, and you got all these different articles that they're already featured in. I'm not going to go through those for now. So live data feed, they've already, you know, that was up high, up top. You already saw that. We've already gone through their social. Their Reddit's huge. Like I said, I'm really surprised it's not bigger when it comes to the interaction on Reddit, but be that as it may, the connections are amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead and just well, the roadmap we've kind of already touched on the front page. Let me just see here. There's a couple extra key points on here, so we'll cover this real fast. So 2013, incepted at Harvard. They claim they had 408 interviews with brands, investors, and startups. That's a lot. Like that's a ton. So they have a lot of data research on that. Raised an angel investment round with Tim Draper, 100 brands, and 4 telecom. Proof of concept demoed in San Francisco in 2015. Raised seed money from an institutional investors. And I know some people don't like that. I get that, but you got billionaires backing, millionaires backing, like they don't usually want to invest in something if they're not going to make a good return back, and I doubt they're just going to want it to get to like 10 cents. So I know crypto people go one way and real world people go the other way, but at some point, a marriage isn't terrible always. Product fully developed, 4 global technology partnerships, 12-layer deep stack development. There's a part in there where they explain the 12-stack development, which I didn't really fully go through, but 50 million unique customer insights from telecom. So 2017, like they talked about, they've launched 10 sensors already, 2 partnerships, couponing system, and the users identified 30,000. I don't know, it said 80,000 on something else, so I don't know if it's the same thing or not. Retail expansion, so eventually, I guess, my understanding is they're starting, do they talk about it in here? Okay, so my understanding, and they don't, but my understanding is they're starting in India first, I believe, and testing all this in India, and then moving to the United States, I want to say in 2019. Let's see. Oh, okay, well, test my knowledge. Here we go. So 2018, they want to deploy in 25 stores with 50 sensors, more partnerships, more people identified. The grow the telco partnerships, and then scale across India. So then they want to go to 2,000 sensors, and then 9, and then eventually scale across Southeast Asia. And then in 2019 is when they want to come to North America and pretty much do the same thing, implement preventive controls, and then down in physical security, I forgot. They want to do physical security in the United States. I don't think they talked about that in India. No, I don't see that. Not to say that they wouldn't, I'm just saying they don't have it on the roadmap. 2020, implement deterrent controls, implement recovery controls, implement corrective controls, implement recovery controls. I don't really know what that means. I'm assuming that would be on the business side of things, the retailer sides of some type of stuff that they have, but I don't technically know. They're going to scale the physical security later on in 2021 is what they want to do. Launch connected devices ecosystem, performance alert systems, and inventory management systems. And then they even go into 2022, device management, hyper growth at all three phases. And by that time, I mean, they're either going to have made it or not, in my opinion. Like if you put that much money, that much time, that much effort behind it, it's either going to work or not. So let's hop on over to the light paper. And we're almost done. Like I just wanted to cover these things because it is repetitive because the concept is actually fairly simple, but I wanted to show you guys like kind of the breakdown, and it's going to show over here. This is repetitive. We've already talked about that. Talked about this. Talked about this. So this right here, the process flows step by step. I just want to go through this just so it's like very specific, like, draw a picture in your head. So this better to explain the Nucleus vision technology works in practice. We have broken a recommended retail use scenario down into steps. A detailed description of each step is as follows. So 1, customer walks into the store, assuming they have a phone, because it says 2, the customer's phone ID is recognized by the ion sensor, which would be plugged into the store. The ion sensor needs the customer's phone ID or sends the phone ID to the Nucleus vision. 4, the Nucleus vision sends a text message or push notification through a pre-installed partner app to the customer offering Ncash for opting into the store's reward program. 5, if the customer opts in, Ncash is credited to his or her account. Ncash can be moved to an ERC-20 compliant wallet. 6, Nucleus Vision securely transfers the customer identification to the retailer over the blockchain. 7, the retailer maps the customer with its core system and identifies new data that can be offered by the Nucleus Vision blockchain network. 8, if the retailer has no previous shopping history, so they're a brand new customer, the retailer system automatically requests for data from the Nucleus Vision extended partnership ecosystem, which is sent to other retailers and participants in the network. An incentive denominated in Ncash is provided for the network participants that share the information. So I'm assuming that the retailers that are helping get the data out there. So if you haven't walked in one store, but you walked in a different store, I think what this is saying is this store over here that you have walked in will be incentivized to share it to this new store that you haven't walked into. Network partners set pre-defined rules to share customer data amongst friendly, non-competing entities and share the requested customer data points if approved. If the network partners accept the request, they further route the authorization to the customer for sharing data through the blockchain before actually sharing the data. Network partners also attach some Ncash as an incentive for the user to share data. Customer receives the request for sharing their data across the retail partner network. So they would have to, I guess, approve it, authorize the request, receive Ncash as an incentive. So it's basically, you can pick and choose. I guess if you don't want to do it, you're like, nope, don't want them to have it, great. But if you say yes, then you basically will receive Ncash and as a reward in return for allowing that data to be out. That's the incentive for authorizing, and will receive a portion of Ncash transferred each time their data is exchanged on the Nucleus Vision retail network. If a customer authorized the data sharing, the blockchain enriches the respective parameter values to retailer's smart Nucleus intelligent system. Based on the customer's data, a unique score is generated by the Nucleus Vision neuron technology. This score represents the customer's value to the retail based on his or her purchase history, spending habits, and other factors. So, what I don't know is, I didn't do a heavy research on the score aspect of side of things, but I'd imagine if you went to a particular store quite a bit, you get a certain score saying like you're a loyal customer. I mean, that's how loyalty programs work anyways. And I would assume, given the fact that there's communication between two different retailers, and if the retailer is similar, maybe they give you a different weight. You know, let's say it's a specific type of clothing store, niche, and then you go into something similar. Would they give you a higher weight or a different preference because they know you shop a lot over here? I don't know. I have no idea, but maybe they do something like that. I just kind of came up with that on my own right now. The retailer may decide to offer Ncash tokens to the customer based on his or her score. Retailers will be able to make decisions in real time with 3 different contexts. A, upon entering the store to incentivize more visits. B, browsing around the store to incentivize in-store conversions. And C, at the time of checkout to increase retention and loyalty. The Ncash tokens also act as a universal loyalty program, I've already said that, where customers can use Ncash as a loyalty reward points across any retail partners of the Nucleus Vision network. Customers can cash out of their Ncash tokens on crypto exchanges for cash or choose to utilize them as loyalty reward points anywhere on the Nucleus Vision. So think about this. This is why I love stuff like this. As time goes on, and there's other coins and tokens that do this, but as time goes on, we are now going to be rewarded for just doing the stuff we already do. I mean, technically speaking, if you look at this point right here, you could enter the store and get something. Maybe if that particular store sets up a reward for doing that just to drive customers, okay? Number 2, you don't even have to buy anything. You could just browse and walk around the store, let's say, for 5 minutes. Maybe you walk through the store while you're with your wife while she browses and you sit on your phone. Whatever. The point is, maybe you now get extra for just being there longer. You would have done it already anyways. Even if you don't buy anything, you might get something. And then later on, you can go cash out on an exchange. That's awesome. It's a great time to be alive. I think we were right here. Customers can optionally opt out of an enhanced and personalized shopping experience, as well as the right to earn Ncash tokens, and their data will not be shared with any of the Nucleus Vision retail partners. So again, I mean, if this is something that makes you feel weird, because I'm kind of that way. I'm kind of like, do I really want all that data shared out there? Do you really? Maybe we should unplug this Google thing and Alexa, whatever. But if you're not troubled by it or don't feel weird by it, what's it gonna hurt? It's extra cash in your pocket, cash technically. So that's the light paper. The last one here, and I promise I'm gonna wrap this up. This is their white paper. This is it's the whole 9 yards. And I had on here, I'm just gonna show you down here. I'm not gonna go through all this. They talk about the retail industry evolution and how what it was back in the day, and then it turned into multi-chain, cross-chain, omni-chain, and now this is their concept, which we've already gone through. What part did I want to show you? I should have labeled the actual page, and I apologize. Should be down here. This kind of walks you through how it's going to go from Ion to Orbit to the campaign and then universal program. This also walks through what we just actually talked about right there. Here we go. So this is their Ion ScanSense. I'm assuming it's just like a little box that you plug in. this is pretty cool. It can sense mobile ID, temperature, motion, pressure, acceleration, and sound. 200-meter coverage. So maybe that's probably why that probably is why they have partnerships with the telecommunication side of things, because I'm assuming they're in connection with those partnerships to try to create this type of ion thing. Also, so from the retailer side of things, they're going to be able to have some type of, I'm assuming, a tablet with a software and platform to go through everything for their customers, because they're going to need to see, have reports to see all that data. It talks about in here where you can basically go through, and it gives the retailers freedom to select either one or multiple stores. So I don't know if you can maybe like not cater, what's the word? There's a word, but like basically adjust maybe one store something different compared to another store. So if you own a couple different stores, you can try different programs at different stores to do different things at different locations. Totally makes sense. I mean, that's how kind of sales works anyways. Below is a customer view of the selected store. Different customer segments are denoted with different colors and recommendations as shown in the sidebar. So you have in shop, around shop, and at home. And this is, I'm assuming this is what something similar, if not the actual layout of what a retail store would see. Below is a screenshot that depicts brand reports, so you can see different revenues, customer evaluation, customer coupon redemption, and revival of churned customers. Let's see. I talked about a deep learning model, and I'm assuming that means that they're just going to go dig deeper into, like artificial intelligence, like learning more and more. I would imagine as the customers, come in more often, they would probably learn more, and eventually they want to go like far, like hospitality. So hospitality, travel, retail, banks, restaurants. I thought they even talked about healthcare somewhere in here too, for like hospitals, things of that sort. So I would imagine it's going to be the same concept. Maybe if you went through, let's see if it's down here. No, maybe I thought it said hospital because of hospitality, but I would assume that they talk about games in here. So again, like they're trying to touch everything here, anything and everything that moves. They are trying to put their hand in that cookie jar. I think that kind of covers it. I mean, a lot of this is sort of redundant. Aggregated data, analytics for retailers. So you got visitors, walk by, outside opportunities, storefront. I mean, bounce rate. I mean, all the data, all the analytics. They're gonna have it in one spot. And I apologize, guys. I should have probably gone through and picked out a better page in here. But I wanted to make sure that I covered the basics, which was really easy to understand in the first 3 minutes, and then I at least dove into a little bit deeper, not only for you, but for me too, because like I said, I just found it tonight, and the little bit I found, I was like, whoa, this is pretty darn cool. So I'll wrap it up with that, because I don't want to make the video too incredibly long, and it's late anyways for me. But if you like this coin and token, again, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm definitely not yours, then it's only at 4 cents right now. I think it came out at 1 cent, I think, at the ICO stage. I could be wrong on that, so don't totally quote me. But it's not like an arm and a leg right now. So it could go to 0, could die tomorrow, or it could go up from 4 cents. I don't know. I have found, just kind of a warning, I typically always wait. I always wait for it to hit an exchange, drop to lows, because usually an ICO, it comes out in the first 24 hours, it goes like crazy, and then it drops, and then I kind of get in. But this one was kind of so low anyways. I was like, whatever. I had like extra random coins. I had mine. I was like, nah, just throw some in. So it is what it is. But yeah, if you like this video and it was beneficial and helpful to you, awesome. Please, I would love it if you guys give me a thumbs up and follow me. If it wasn't, and I messed up on something, or you just didn't learn anything and it sucked, give me a thumbs down. Please let me know why, because I want to make my future videos better than this video if it wasn't what you wanted to see. So thanks, guys. Hope you had a great night, and I hope you enjoyed the video.